Hello students, I hope you have understood the poem A Photograph by Shirley Tolson. Now today, once again I am here with the important lines of the poem along with explanation for your better understanding. Before explanation, I want to give you a vocabulary list. Number one is terribly, meaning is extremely, transient, temporary. Wry, meaning disgusted. Labored, done with great effort. Ease, comfort. Circumstance, situation. Very important line from the poem is, the cardboard shows me how it was. When the speaker looks at the cardboard with her mother's photograph, past memories sprout, meaning produce in her mind. The poetic device used in this line is allusion. What is allusion, students? It is an incidental mention of something, either directly or by implication. Here, the word cardboard, which actually refers to the photograph. That's why this is called allusion. The second important line of the poem is, and the sea, which appears to have changed less. Through this line, the poet wants to explain that the sea, where mother and her cousins enjoyed their holiday, has not changed much ever since, whereas the mother and her cousins have grown physically. The unchanged sea contrasts with the changes that human life undergoes with the passage of time. As compared to nature, human life is woefully short. Third important line is, was their terribly transient feat. Very important, many times in the exams also the explanation of this line is asked. Through this line, the poet wants to say, just like the footprints on a wet beach are washed away by sea waves in no time, human life is short-lived too. The tide of time washes away its very existence. The girl's footprints were washed away into nothingness soon after they were formed. The girls themselves died with the passage of time. Transience of human life is tragic, means human life is not permanent, it is temporary. The poetic devices used in this line are, number one is alliteration. Here the example is terribly transient. As you can see, the repetition of the initial consonant, that is the T sound. One very important poetic device is transferred epithet. By it refers to human feat, but it is used to describe the lack of permanence of human life, and the poetic device is transferred epithet. The next important line is, the sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Through this line, the poet describes the incident of the sea holiday and the laughter of the mother, which were revived by the look at the snapshot. She remembers the holiday, are now both the things of the past. Whenever the mother looked at the snapshot, she was lost in her past and relived the memories of her childhood days. She becomes nostalgic. For the narrator, a look at the snapshot would remind her how her mother laughed innocently at the sight. She misses the joyful moments she enjoyed with her mother. Next important line is, both wry with the labored ease of loss. The word wry means disgusted, and labored ease meaning when you achieve something with great effort. Through this line, the poet says, change is the harsh and bitter truth of life. None can hold or capture time. With the passage of time, everything gets distorted and man is compelled to accept this loss with ease. However harsh or painful it may be for him to accept it. And you all know, students, that human life is temporary. If somebody dear ones goes away from us, we have to accept this truth and the life carries on. The poetic device used in this line is oxymoron. Here it is labored, meaning with great difficulty, and ease means comfortably, and both words have opposite meanings, but here they are clubbed together, and such examples are called oxymoron. And of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. Through this line, the magnitude of the poet's sense of loss at her mother's death is too big for her to express it in words. It has left her stunned in disbelief. She is left to be constantly haunted by the vacuum created by her mother's death. She is not able to forget the death of her mother, but she has to accept the bitter truth. The last, the most important line, very important, it's silence silences. Through this line, the poet says the eternal silence of death seems to silence everything else, for only this silence now prevails over the thoughts of the narrator. This silence also expresses human helplessness in matters like death. The poetic device used in this line is alliteration, because there is the repetition of S sound. Another important poetic device used here is personification, as the situation has been given the human quality of silence. Students, thanks a lot, students. Hope now you have understood the poem in detail. I expect my students to write all these important lines along with their explanation in their notebooks, so that before giving the exam they can revise it. Thank you. Have a nice day.